I would visit this metaphysical shop all the time in Plattsmouth, Nebraska. The shop is no longer there, and unfortunately, I play a part in that. But I would visit this metaphysical shop, and it was ran by, I don't think I should say his name.
Then don't just say this guy.
So he was a Satanist, right? And that's so weird. It's so weird. I feel weird having this conversation because it's like I don't want to come off a certain way. It's not, this isn't who I am, but it's a part of what I've gone through. And he introduced me to Satanism, and I got very fascinated with the idea again of with working with other beings, and it's not just like demons. Like with Satanism, I was introduced to like Greek titans, Hecate. I was introduced to Loki from the Norse mythology. All kind of being tied to what I understood at the time was darker energy, and kind of tying that then into my understanding with Hermeticism. I felt like I was kind of able to separate. Well, it's not just dark energy; it's all energy, and I started working with these beings not because, I wanted to do wrong to other people, but I wanted to explore like the darker aspects of myself and doing shadow work and understanding the things that they tell us are wrong. Well, why are they wrong? If that makes any sense.
Yeah. It makes sense to me. I'm just seeing, I'm always intrigued when I hear it because it's like, what we really love about you, John, is it's so endearing to hear you say, explored it. Like, we've got the main religions that will say, oh yeah, I've been a Buddhist, I've been a this, I've been a that. But then when someone else comes forward and is like, no, I've really explored these different religions, these different outlets, these different rituals, these different communities,
I've worked with both Satan and Lucifer. And, people like to think, well, it's all dark, it's all evil, don't do it. But there was this weird disconnect that I made where, when Christianity talks about Lucifer versus Satan, Lucifer was a being of light. He was an angel. He came from the highest of highs, right? And he fell. I got that when I was working with him. And it was interesting too then to also see the part that, well, just because a being is of light doesn't necessarily mean that they have good intention, right? And so Lucifer, his whole name being bringer of light, right?
Yeah.
Had this, when I was working with him, had this air of like, I'm holier than you. And I really stepped back and I was like, wow, okay, now I understand. Now I know why people ask me not to work with this stuff.
Because you were like, essentially, this being thinks it's better than me.
Right.
It was was it because I'm just trying to put together the threads, like anything that's like humiliating or makes you feel like, or puts you in a position where you have to, your intuition is like, do you think that we're not peers?
You're right.
You're like, okay, screw it. No. Okay, pulling the plug on this one. It was nice to know you, but taking back my speakers is like, that's what I'm seeing when you're telling me each and every one of these experiences that you've had. It's like the moment that they're like, by the way, better than you, you're like, no. Okay. So when you explored this and then that's what you saw from it, was it a lot like the moment where you felt like, okay, I have the answers that I was looking for from this, or I've seen enough?
I had a few, and I realized that I've got to explore everything. Like, I've gone the opposite way now, and I went to Satanism, but now it's like, let's really get in the weeds now and like look at Norse mythology and Greek mythology and understand, because you hear about these gods and what they have power over, but it also kind of almost translates into like different emotional aspects, different energetic interactions with I'm thinking of like Loki, right? Being, it's almost kind of playful. It's dark, but it's playful at the same time, and with him being the trickster, right? That was just another interesting perspective on like, well, in Greek mythology, he's kind of known as being this evil person, but at the core of it, is he really evil? Or is just this idea of wanting to be ahead of the game just a part of, who he is? right?